Do you have your previous stream keys from Twitch? Is that what you're trying to do? Just
I
use
don't know.
that.
I did start streaming, but I'm not sure if you guys see it.
Uh,
Oh,
find the
I
link.
think it's working.
How did I get tagged? Well, this thing is. I think it's live, but I don't see anything. I hear your clicks.
Oh yeah.
I think that's me.
Well, I did device capture, and so
I hear my own voice. It's so cringe.
somebody help us. Scene. I think I gotta change something here. Preview program.
It's like 5-10 second delay.
Oh, okay. I see the program, and I see the preview that's working, but
5-10 second delay.
oh, okay. I see the program. How do I move it? Oh, that doesn't work.
We got 70 people in here.
Why is this not easier than Twitch? I don't understand. Transition. How do I? Oh, maybe it's. What the hell? Oh, there it is. You see it? Yes. No. You guys see it? It might be a delay. Let me know if you guys see it.
Yeah, we can see it now.
That's what it was. So you just gotta.
Where's the tape, man?
I have the hardest time finding the content uploads tab.
I just scroll until I see where I have a notification.
Alright, you know what? I don't know who's here, but I have to make the announcement.
Okay.
I'll be back. No, actually, Venus, can you just make the announcement? It does.
An announcement?
Yeah,
The
because
announcement
I still
channel?
gotta figure some kinks out. Just tell them that the live stream started. I just need like a minute. I guess tell our subscribers that if they want to communicate, they don't have to go straight to the live stream. They can go to like the trading stream chat.
Alright.
I'll
The
do
comments?
that. I'll definitely
The comments
take
are
that
disabled.
precedence.
Anyways.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn off my video, but I just want to show face before anything happens.
Who's that behind you?
Who's that behind me? Where?
We can see your entire screen, by the way, not just Thinkorswim.
You see both my other monitor as well?
No,
Yeah.
but I don't know if you switched.
So you see like my programs on the bottom and stuff too? Probably, right?
Programs?
I do a
Yeah,
hide.
I see your Windows tab or your.
Well, I got Diablo, I got Blizzard, I got Discord, got some Excel, some Katok, OBS. Yeah. It's not like I got anything I want to hide. Alright, so I'm going to keep my streaming monitor here, and I'm going to keep my YouTube thing here.
Just made the announcement.
Is it also because I disabled chat? And
Just made the
so there's
announcement.
no chat for live stream, right?
Yeah, there's
Yes,
no chat
says.
on YouTube. I told everyone to go to trading stream.
I guess in the future I want to keep it open in case we have other like non-paying subscribers.
Yeah.
But for now, this is too much to handle, so I'm gonna just not do anything. Chat, 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 chat. Audience. Yes, it's made for kids. Just gonna say that. Recording chat. Oh, it's also true that if you stream for like the safe for kids, you can't allow comments. Is that what happened? Alright, no, it's not made for kids.
I don't
Allow
know.
all comments. Safe. Alright, allow chat. Hello, world. Okay. This is so, like, kind of like last minute almost, but, I don't know who's watching the stream, but I'll start in 4 minutes just to make sure everybody's.
What are you snacking on?
Beef jerky.
Damn.
I'm not even gonna say anything.
You're being recorded, so watch what you say. Wait, do you guys hear yourself speak on the stream? Because I don't think I
Yep.
allowed that. You did?
Yep.
Okay. Good thing we did, because I don't want to just be talking to myself. Disgusting. Ugly.
Those volume profiles, is that your visible range or the session?
Whatever the time
Like-
frame is.
Okay, so like if you were to zoom out, it changes.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't, because I'm only using the 20 days, so it's probably just taking the 20 day. Whether I zoom in or not. Yeah, doesn't change. I actually like that, because like for example, like the 9 EMA and like the VWAP, they change depending on your window view, but oh, it's 15. Okay. What's up, guys? This is Quantum from LKS. My real name is Phil, so you could just call me Phil for now. But this is more for the members. A lot of them have been kind of asking me about what option strategies I've been using for the year end, and especially in times of uncertainty or volatility. I went over call spreads, put spreads, both the debit and the credit spreads, and then even in the market chat we kind of went over ghetto spreads. So we're gonna go over, maybe spend about 30 minutes kind of explaining the usefulness, the pros and cons of different option strategies, and how it can be useful in your trading strategies, trading, whatever stock that you've been watching or that you've been doing your due diligence on. So yeah, before we start, I'm wearing I don't know if this is limited edition, but this is a LKS sweater. It's a size large, and I like to wear kind of like little loose. I'm a 6 foot, 40-inch chest, so this fits really well. I think it shrank a little bit, but maybe it's just me. But now it's just very snug. It's very warm. It's got almost like Sherpa shearling lining inside, so especially warm in New York, where it's like 32 degrees right now. Alright, so all I have is Thinkorswim, my Microsoft Word. So I don't know like where everybody's experience is with and your knowledge on different call or option strategies. So I'm going to start from the very basic. So we're going to start with, oh, this is tiny. I'm sorry. Is this big enough? Call spreads. Call spreads or put spreads. So basically, call spreads for a 2-leg is simply you're buying to open. So BTO, if you see in our channels, if you see people calling out spreads, they'll have a BTO and a STO, sell to open, buy to open. So you're buying on the bid side, and when you sell it, you're buying it at the ask side. So that's, what am I talking about here? So let's say this is a typical option chain that you see. Let's say let's say we're speculating that Activision, ATVI, is going to go up in the coming days, And so right now, Activision is sitting at this. Holy shit! It's a demon's number, 666. But let's say it's going to go up to, right? So typically, maybe an amateur option. Don't get offended. I didn't mean that. But if you are new to options and you're just options, you're just more used to buying a call out. Let's say 70 calls here, right? This is, let's say, weeklies. Let's forget the date, but let's just use this week as, just for example's sake. We're looking at 70s, right? So you're paying about 11 cents per contract, or about $11 per contract, or $110 per 10 set, right? But let's say, and as you all know, or you may not know, regular just naked call options are very volatile. Usually you see it go up 200% in 1 second, and if the market in the delta direction is not going in the way that you want, you can see this go minus 80%, 60%, 90%, and all of a sudden this goes to zero, right, effectively. But, however, if you want to take advantage of this delta movement in the positive direction, you can. We utilize call spreads very often when we're very uncertain about the market, condition, and so let's say you're paying for these weeklies because they're so cheap, and that's the only reason why you're buying these naked call options. Well, yeah, high risk, high reward, right? But we can effectively take this cheap option and we can utilize a call spread. So what I'm doing right now is, so regular call naked option would have been call naked option 70 C's for 0.11. Maybe reduce that a little bit. And so now I'm going to buy a 69 call, but I'm also going to sell a 71 call. So this right now is, we're working on call spreads right now. We're going call spreads. Debit if you want to be more specific, because we're going to be buying, we're going to buy this at the ask, and we're going to buy this at the bid. So we're buying 69 C's, which is about, let's say, 0.21, and we are selling, or as we're selling to open 71s, right? Let's just use 0.05 for what it is. Now, what happens is when you're buying this and selling this, you're paying 21 cents per contract, and you're being credited because you're selling. So think of short selling. When you short sell equities, you're granted the initial credit with your sell to open position, right? So you're paying for this. Let's put this red, and you're being credited this. So I kind of color coded it, green to be positive, red to be negative, what's leaving your account, because I'm going to go over ghetto spreads, and this idea of selling to open calls against your previously open calls is what we call ghetto spreading. We'll go into that later. So what happens is the net debit is going to be what you pay and the difference of what you paid and what you get credited. So you're paying, am I doing this math right? Yeah. Your net debit is going to be, you're paying 16 cents. So let's just compare these two. This is a 69, nice. 71 call spread, net debit. So, okay, we're comparing a 69.71 call spread that we're paying 16 cents per spread, and a call naked option for 11 cents. Now, I guess without producing the visual graphs, we all know what happens to a call naked option, right? when the delta or the direction of the stock does not go in our favor, this gets wiped out basically, right? So let's say Activision dropped $2, right? I'm making up the scenario, and our call options are going to be worth maybe 5 cents after a $2 move. Now, what happens in a $2 move down for call spread? Yeah, our call spread, which is a bullish, call spread, will certainly go down, but it might not go down as much. So, in the same token, the 69, because it's a little bit closer in the money to the underlying price as a 71 cents. Let's say this dropped about 50%. This will drop about 40%. So let's say for guesstimation, let's say this went down 40%. So I don't know. 40% 21 is 8 cents. 21 minus 8. I can't really think right now. 13. Thank you for helping. And then 5 cents. Now here's what's interesting. If these lose value because the contract in itself loses value because Activision went down $2, yeah, this goes down too. This goes down. Let's say it's worth only 2 cents. So what happened here is we lost about 8 cents here, and we gained. So this is a gain because we're on the writing side. We're writing this option, right? So we're gaining 3 cents. So if you guys don't understand this, replay this a few times. If you're buying on the bid size, you're on the opposite side. You're being written this option, right? Your contract is being devalued, right? It's going down. But if you're on the right side, it's the flip opposite. So this 71 contract went down to 2 cents, but you gained 3 cents. And so that essentially is how a call spread is like naturally hedging against, it's a naturally hedged position because you're using a more expensive near money call option and you're hedging it with a little bit further out. So those of you guys that are in Platt, you guys see that Kumo, not Governor Cuomo, Kumo uses this strategy a lot where typical bullish move for options would have been a 70 call option, but she uses a spread. It's usually one up, down, nearer the money from the 70 and one further away from the 70. So that's how you get your 69 and 71. So let's see. Net debit would be about, again, the difference of this and this. So yes, we lost about 8 cents per contract, but we gained, and it was hedged against this option where we gained 3. So the net debit is a loss of 5 cents. This is a loss of 6 cents. This is a loss of 5 cents. So that is kind of the pros, I guess, of using a call spread. Now, what's the con, right? Why doesn't anyone use this? Well, the nature of call spreads is that at the expiration, these contracts when they become, when they expire in the money for both, and I gave 3 scenarios where one leg is in the money, or both legs are in the money, or no legs are in the money. If no legs are in the money, this all goes to zero. All goes to zero. This is expires, out of the money. All this goes to zero. So 0.0, 0.0. Of course, this goes down to 0 too. So what's the pro of it in this is that this initial debit that you paid for, is the maximum risk, meaning you lose this, you don't lose any more. Now, what's the pro on this is that you paid 16 cents. Your best case scenario for this this call spread to expire both in the money is it's a 2-point spread. So that's a terminology that people use in sports betting, and because they also use spreads as well. So this is called. So I'm going to say this is a 2-point spread, or $2 per contract, and you paid 16 cents for it, right? So meaning, if Activision closes this Friday above 71, we're realizing a maximum profit of $2 per spread, and you paid 16 cents for it. So maximum would be about your maximum P&L percentage would be, if I'm getting this right, 12% minus 100% for the initial capital. That'll be your max P&L percent for this. So this is why spreads are like, whoa, spreads are so amazing. I think what people most take away from this is the fact that they're not losing so much. And I said this before in market chat, and just when when we do sessions together, the name of the game is to make money, right? Everyone makes everyone makes their call. I think this stock is go up, this stock is go down, and hence they place their bets, whether it be call options or put options. But those directional bets are 50-50 in nature, right? So either you hit it or you don't. But even if you nail the direction, sometimes just the nature of naked options is what traders they lose on. They hold for too long, or they get greedy. They don't realize profit, or they have like 400% gains unrealized, but in the afternoon the market might tank, and then all of a sudden all their gains are wiped out, and they're just left with negative. It's so call spreads, I think, to put it simply, kind of neutralizes that volatility. It still has its own inherent volatility, but it's just not as bad as a naked call option or put option. Now the con is the fact that profits are capped, right? So for spreads, profits are capped, and that's something not anyone really cares about, because a lot of times these trades are like in and out, one day in or one day out, or it's kind of a day trade. So as long as they hit their 100% or 200%, they're out. They don't have to wait for this to get to $2. They can wait for this to get to 50 cents. From the way that Activision is moving, usually because this is nearing the money, this will appreciate in value a little quicker than the 71s, and so there's going to be a catch-up game involved. But usually when these spreads go 100% up or 200% up, people cash out, and that's fine. So the cap is whatever the point differential is. So if you bought a 70-75 call spread, then your maximum the spread maximum is 5 points, right? So $500 or $5 per spread, right? So that kind of is what call spreads are about. This is kind of just going through this again because we already had a workshop on this, but if you guys want, for the newcomers who are still confused about call spreads, we're going to definitely do a more in-depth workshop. I have PowerPoints made, I have illustrations made, so this is just more for just going over the different strategies going by it. So ghetto spreads. I don't know who coined it. I think one of our notables, he just called it ghetto spreads. I think that is the unofficial name. But essentially, a lot of us, we buy, the same naked call options, right? So let me just use one of my trades that I closed recently. So I actually bought a 62.5 call spread for Activision. I bought it about last week. Let me see, where is my... So this was alerted. I bought this one. Right, I bought this one for January 2022, and I bought it for 58 cents. So my initial Activision positions was I bought a few shares. I bought about 250 shares at around 58 something. I forgot. I gotta look back, but I also bought some 62.5. Well, I don't have to write this again, but I bought some of these. January 2022 expiration, and I bought it for about 158 cents. Was it? Yeah, 58 cents. 58 cents. And so, where's my Activision chart? So here's kind of like, well, this, first of all, Activision just went on a tear. I don't want to curse, but it went on a tear. I think 10 or 11 green days in a row, and so we caught it somewhere on this dip over here. I gave countless DD on why I was bullish on Activision, why I chose Activision out of the 3 major gaming companies. This is all in market chat for gold subscribers and up. So some of us, caught this, not the bottom, but bottom enough, and we rode this all the way up. And somewhere around here, I decided to I told myself, you know what? These call options and shares, these call options are up. We're up pretty big. We're about 150, 200% up. I don't want to close this yet. I still think that Activision will still go up, but I want to protect my gains. And so I forgot what these were worth when I opened my ghetto spread, but let's just say it was about, actually I did alert, if somebody could just anyways, let's just say for example's sake, the 62.5 calls were worth 150 cents, and this was maybe, let's say, a few days ago when Activision was still around like 64, 63. And so obviously you're looking at this and you got, 1.5 divided by 0.58. It's about 158% gain, right? So it's about 158% gain. And I want to protect this. So there's 2 options. One, protect gains. There's 2 ways I could have gone about this. I could have sold it, just straight 158% gain, sell it for 158%, or how we do it in LKS is usually on the way up. I have been actively trimming on every single green candle, straight vertical green candle, or as we call it, the rips. So we sell it on the rips or trim on the rips. So usually this takes about, a few sessions, like maybe I'll sell it in the morning or I'll sell it in the afternoon, but I'm selling bits and pieces at a time because I want to hold onto this. If my conviction in Activision going up is still very, very strong, then yeah, I want to hold on to this. And it becomes more of a swing into maybe the later days, later in the week. Or second option is to ghetto spread it, and by ghetto spreading it, I am selling 64 call, and that is exactly what I did. So if you guys see this in my P&L, calculating this is, I still got to figure out how I'm going to do this, because I sold everything, and so this is supposed to be one complete spread, but broke it up for illustration purpose. So it says I sold it here at 261. So this is a BTO. So what I did was I BTO'd, and I am selling to open 64 calls. This is the same expirations, and make sure these are the same expirations, like ghetto spreading or completing the spread. So ghetto spreading is actually completing the spread. Ooh, typos, my fingers are cold. Completing the spread. Because by selling this call against this, I'm essentially completing, two legs that make up the spread, right? So this is now I have a call spread here, but I sold this for, according to my P&L, 2.61, and this is where things get interesting, and this is why so many people in LKS do this, is because if you guys paid attention, I paid only 58 cents for the 62. Now it's worth about 150. So actually, I'm gonna fix this up. So this was actually probably about 3.2 or something like that, according to when I sold this. So, well, that changes everything, right? So actually, this was actually about 450%, right? So my contract's now worth 3.2, and I'm selling this, and I'm credited 2.61 or $261 per leg. So what happened here is I paid 58 cents, right? So 58 cents left my bank account, or however way you want to visualize this. And when I sold it, I was credited $261 per. Take this off. No color. I was credited 261 cents. So if you guys did the math here, if you guys did the net, if you net this out, you're actually credited. You're credited net credit. This, difference of this is 200. Again, I can't do math. I think that's right. You're credited $2.03 for this completion of this ghetto spread. So what happened here was I didn't sell this. I still have this. It's still very much alive and still very unrealized. But now I have another leg introduced. That now this becomes a call spread, right? And so what happened here is we have two scenarios, right? So now this is essentially me taking profit on my initial position here. Let's forget about my shares for now. We're only concerned about the options. So we are. I didn't want to sell this. Now the whole reason why I did this ghetto spread is because I want to continue this thesis that Activision is going to still go up in the future. Maybe just a few more dollars, that's not really going to do much for my overall profit, because if you guys remember, this point differential is actually 1.5, right? 62.5 and 64. So my spread differential is only, this is my maximum profit of these spreads. And I think I did the math at the time. It doesn't matter how much Activision goes up. I'm only going to, I think I realized maybe just a more, squeeze out a little bit more profit from this, from these two, these two legs. Now here's what's kind of cool about ghetto spreads is that in this situation, this scenario, if Activision tanks, right? If the market crashed, the next day, I have realized this amount as my profit. Doesn't matter if it drops $1, $2, $5, $10. If Activision goes to zero, actually wait, let me think about that for a second. But anyways, if it goes down a lot, this is what we have realized, because at expiration, these will go to zero, right? But my initial credit, they credit me this $261. If it goes to zero, great. I don't have to pay them back, essentially, right? Visually. And so this is kind of why ghetto spreads are very powerful. And let me see if I lost any of you guys. I'm gonna check the chat. I haven't checked the chat. Just tell me if you guys, and you guys could at me, but if you guys are confused up to this point. Yeah, Rels. So Rels talking about choosing to close both of them or just one leg. Yeah, so this is just expiration. So the next day, the reason why Ghetto Spread is so good for most of the LKS members is because it does not consume a day trade, right? Let's say you open this up today, right? You guys opened up an Activision. It was kind of like in morning volatility, it was down like $3, and you picked it up on the bottom. But then all of a sudden, the SPY and QQQ started mooning, and then it brought Activision back up $6, and all of a sudden you bottom fished this contract for 58 cents, and now it's worth 3.2, right? This is a new scenario. Now what, right? You have no day trades. You want to close it, but you can't because you're a pattern day trader. You probably consumed a lot of unnecessary day trades, and now you're just locked out from So ghetto spreading in this situation of selling a 64 call and being credited $261 per leg is your way of realizing this gain without consuming a day trade, because this is a separate trade, at least in the eyes of the brokerage. This is two separate trades, and you can choose to close these tomorrow or the next day, or you can just close one leg for the next day. So I want to go over like the different nuances of, let's say you did this call, but then tomorrow, let's say again the next day in the morning, Activision dropped another $3, and you can close this leg for essentially profit, because if Activision drops tomorrow, I'm sure this contract will go somewhere from 2.61 to, I don't know, let's make it up 1.5, right? So if you close this leg, you realized a profit on just this leg about 1.111. My math is right. Anyways, so you can close this and still write out your contract. So this is kind of like you're buying back this contract. You can use your gains to maybe buy the dip on this, because this surely will have dipped if Activision went down $3. This probably wouldn't went down to 1.9. You could use the proceeds to buy the dip on this, or just hands back on the sidelines. There's different ways to play it. All right, let me go back to questions. Questions are piling up right now. Why not buying a put instead of selling a call? Good question. I think in my experiences, there's reasons why selling the call would make sense as opposed to buying a put. Now, puts are designed basically to take advantage of a sharp move down. So in a lot of situations, you don't really encounter that a lot. So to be using a put to try to predict, a sharp drop is almost a fool's game, because it's kind of like buying a call, right? If it doesn't work out, your naked call gets wiped out, and now you're left with two naked calls. You're left with a naked call and a naked put option, and both of them just get decimated, and you're just left with even less money. So a put, I would have only buy a put to protect your gains if you really feel like there's going to be a sharp drop, like a pullback correction type of drop. And that's the only way I feel like a put would make more sense. Now, by selling a call, it's a different mechanic. The way that the prices, drop or gain or appreciate, I just use it more of a natural hedge against the first call that I bought. Because let me highlight a situation where both a call and a put could get wiped out. Is if it chops sideways. It goes up $1, goes down $1, goes up $1, goes down $1, and the Activision could have closed maybe minus 0.5%, right? But both your calls and your puts dropped about maybe 30%, and that's just kind of an estimate, but that's from my experience how it goes. All right, questions from Plat member Dean. Wait, so if it's above the STO strike, then do you lose the same amount of 2.0? So I think that was from the example from before. But let's say, let's just use this example. I think your question is, if you buy, or if you sell a strike higher, then yeah, that pushes your spread. So this is your maximum spread, right? Or profit, whatever, maximum spread. So if you bought a 65, then this moves up to 250. But what happens here is if you sell to close 65 call, you're not going to be credited as much, right? You're going to be probably credited a lot less, because 65 calls are probably worth less than 64. So you probably would have been credited maybe 2.10 instead of I don't know what it was before, 2.56. So that would mean essentially you're realizing a little bit less profit, but that gives you more openness to take on the maximum profit. So So I don't know if that answers your call. Answers your question. If that answers your question, then just give me a thumbs up. Alright, I lost the chat. Okay, I found the chat again. My back hurts. Oh, I'm so sorry. I've been sitting all day. Alright, while that's going on, let me see if there's any other questions on YouTube chat. Okay, CH Chin 86, I don't know if you're still here, but can you briefly go over what happens if Activision closes above 64 at expiration, say $70? So I guess this goes back to my previous example. I don't know if my memory serves me right, but I think that's how it looked before. So like I said before about call spreads, your profit will never exceed this spread, the point spread. So if you're buying 62.5 calls and you're selling a 64 call, then your maximum profit is 1.5 per spread, right? but obviously different factors go into when you bought this leg and when you sold this leg. So obviously in my situation, I bought this call at the very bottom, right? $58 was like the bottom to me. And I sold this call, 64 call, at the top when Activision was about $63. So it depends on where you bought this leg, where you sold this leg, and obviously for me, according to my P&L, I sold it at when this spread was, oh perfect. I got this right here. So let's use this as an example. Perfect. Good thing tiny. It's freaking tiny. How do I make this bigger? Get this out here. I made it bigger, right? Oh, perfect. Okay. So this was my final count. I closed these both together actually. I closed this yesterday. Yeah, I didn't close this today. I closed this yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday. I closed this yesterday. So but it's good that I closed it yesterday because closing it today would not have really meant anything. And the only way I could realize maximum profit on this is if I held it to expiration, which is next month, right? I'm not holding until next month because, and here's why, because my current spread differential was about $1, right? $1 was my, if I sold this, I would have gotten $100 per spread as opposed to 1.5. That 50 cents, that max extra profit that I could squeeze out, I feel like it's menial. Like that 50 cents is not worth me holding until the expiration of, what is it, 122 for the year 2022. Because for me, I'm all about my return on capital and usage of capital. So like if my capital is sitting there, it pretty much did all the bulk of the work. It netted me about, I don't know, 200-300%, right? I want to utilize those new gains into maybe another play, or after a series of due diligence and research, if I find another stock that I feel like will be very profitable in the future, yeah, then I'm going to utilize the capital. And so you will see a lot of our members exiting here, because after it's both of them are in the money, it's like it's the extra profit is just very menial and very small compared to holding for a month. I want to use that capital immediately so that it can net me another 150%, 100%, 150, 200% profit. So to answer that, going back to the question, CH Chin, even if Activision was $70, yeah, these options will probably be like, I don't know, maybe $10, and this will probably be like, I don't know, $8. No, that doesn't make sense. It will probably be about $9. And so, as you can see, like the differential is probably not going to be, it's not going to change much whether it's Activision closes, above at 64, 65, 66, $80, doesn't matter. So that's kind of like going back to what I said about call spreads. Your profit is max. Now, what could happen if I didn't open this ghetto spread to begin with? Then you're playing with, you're gambling, right? You're essentially your gain is very unprotected. First of all, you're unsure of what the market will come the next few, the coming days. But let's just say you got lucky. You didn't do the ghetto spread. You held these naked calls. Do I want to shift sellers up? What is this asking me? Okay, so obviously, if you didn't have this ghetto spread to begin with, my 58 cents that I paid for my Activision and it's worth $10 now. That's a pretty insane P&L percentage, right? That's literally what Twitter Furu is like get wet over, right? So just to play with you guys, that gain would have been 70% gain, which is of course insane. Doesn't happen a lot, and if you were in LKS and you did this, you pulled something like this off, we'll congratulate you, of course, but you are a lucky mother father, But this is not something you would want to aspire, because this doesn't happen, This is not something you can replicate every day. But personally, call spreads, ghetto spreads, realistically, you can make daily gains doing this way. I know people, of course, this is for like swing trading, and this is why I'm a swing trader, and this is why I emphasize call spreads and ghetto spreads or any other likes, because I realize a lot of my members can't day trade, and so this is why ghetto spreads is kind of like the solution for those people who can't day trade. I can day trade, but as an alerter, like I can't just keep doing day trades after day trades, because less and less people can follow me. So this is something that a strategy that I personally believe that anyone of any experience, whether you have a lot or a little, can replicate, and you can replicate with success. So this is why we're having this workshop. How long did I go? 45 minutes? I think this is kind of this concludes the the call spreads and the ghetto spreads. But if you are in gold, platinum, or diamond, you guys, we're gonna have a workshop on this a little bit more in depth. But this is definitely for members, free members, or people who've just been lurking and they want to see what LKS is all about. This is kind of how we do things here. I want to say we're smart investors, but we take care of and manage our risk in as efficiently and as effectively as possible. So if it can be helped, we want to mitigate the risk. We want to realize profits as soon as possible. And sometimes if you just don't want to sell this right away, this is an option that you can have. If you want to explore the idea that Activision, or any stock for that matter, will keep appreciating. Thirsty, just get a drink. Alright, so I'm just going to read questions. Is Eric dating Zangsta? I don't know. I'm not Eric, nor Zangsta. How long of a contract should you buy to do this type of spread? Any contract. You can do, weeklies. I don't really do weeklies, sometimes, but not all the time. But obviously weeklies, by nature has a higher risk reward, so that goes for spreads as well. You can oftentimes find the spreads for weeklies and even 2 weeklies to be very, very, very cheap. So if your bet that a certain ticker is going to make the move soon, that might be a very profitable naked call or call spreads or ghetto spreads or whatever option you use. And so yeah, that's one thing I'd like to say, is that if you go out too far, you might have to increase your spreads to match the risk to reward. Yeah, let me give an example. So let's look at Activision. Let's look at this option chain for this week, right? So let's say I want to buy a 68 call and I want to spread it with 73. So I have to look at my order book. So here's a 5-point differential, and you're paying 34 cents per debit. So the math for that is, if let's say all goes well this Friday, Activision closes above 73, so that's your max profit scenario. 5 points divided by 34 cents, you have about 13,000% gain, right? Very lucrative, because you're paying for 34 cents or $34 per spread, but at the maximum profit at the expiration, you're being paid out $500. So that in itself, $34 to $500, you guys do the math, that's about 13,000%, right? Now let's look at a later option. Now the reason why I tell you if you go out further, you have to increase your spread is because that was what, 68 and 73, right? Okay, we don't have 68 here, but 68 to 73, we don't have that here. This is a 5-point spread still, about, and you're paying $233 per spread. So your maximum profit is going to be 100%, and that's only if, you know, by February 18th, your it closes above 75. So that drastically, you know, alters your risk to reward, right? And timing is a big issue because these premiums are priced differently. Obviously, these premiums are more expensive because they're further out, and so technically they're safer, and so the premium is a little higher. They start to bunch up a little bit, right? So these are all like 380, 274, 197. So my suggestion is, if you want to play out, you know, spreads further out, you might want to pick up a 75 and maybe even go out to 85 right here. So these two right here, 75 and 85, is a 10-point differential. You're paying about $100 per spread. So at maximum profit, and maximum profit in this situation would be if Activision closes above 85 for February, that is a 10-point differential, so your maximum profit is about 900%. So that's very different from what we had before, which was 67 and a half and 72, was it? I forgot. Anyways, so yeah, the risk to reward is very different here, but obviously this is nearer in the money, so this is more guaranteed to hit. I don't like to use that word, but there's probabilities, there's different, you know, variables that's being calculated. So that's why you're paying more premium for less profit. Whereas if you go out further up in the strike price, you're getting riskier, and so by becoming riskier, your reward goes up. So yeah, I hope that answers Kevin's question. I'm gonna go through. Zangsa says, "Ask away." Okay. Chin said, "Got it. Thank you." Options in general is very foreign to me. I'm attending this live session hoping to at least learn something. Yeah, Gloomy. If you're not part of the LKS, we have a lot of free resources that you can, you know, browse through on the left on the Discord, or Zangsta's TikTok. I think she covers a lot of basics. I think if you're new to options and you're coming into this live session, it's going to be very confusing because this is what I consider more advanced option strategies than your typical buying the calls, buying the puts, strike here, date there. It's a little bit more nuanced. This is for people. Should I join LKS? I mean, if you want to make money, go ahead. Yeah. If you don't, if you want, or if you can make money on your own, then, you know, you do you. And I'm not paid to say that. Options in general is very foreign to me. Okay, I've said that. Arrived late. Will this be recorded? Yes. You and me both, Gloomy. I don't know what that means. Come home, Dad. I am home. What software are you using? This is Thinkorswim. It looks very computery, right? Like Matrix. Obviously, I got like my account information that I hid because I don't want you guys to look at my information. This is, you know, your date, your account, connected real time. So this is to make sure that, you know, everything is running smoothly. If your internet goes out, this will definitely be orange. just in case you know. And I have my indices. I look at my time and sales. If you guys want to go over like what indicators do I use for my charts, we can do that for another time. These are called CCS and LKS. What? CCS? PCS was not covered? What's I'm sorry, what do they stand for? Maybe I can ask for help. Alright, while I'm mulling over that question, I'm gonna go over to my Discord, our Discord. Question here is, if that is your initial strategy, then yes, open history. Okay, no, he's answering a question for me. Yeah, so I'm really happy that my members. We had a spreads workshop I think like a month or two ago. I think it was a very timely workshop because I started to use more call spreads because of the uncertainty of the market. I did feel like market was toppy, and in looking back in hindsight, it was. So a lot of my members, they banked it hard. They did. I think they are better than me in some aspects because risk management is different person to person. Like I can tell you to buy a call spread, but you can ignore me and just go straight with a call spread. I mean a naked call. And so that's just an example of how everybody's risk tolerance is different, risk appetite is different, or that just goes to show that you don't listen. What time frame do you look for day trading? I don't day trade, believe it or not. I mean, if I were to day trade, I would ghetto spread it. I'm a equities swing trader, and my time frame is actually more of like 3 months to 6 months to 1 year, to more. Oh, I'm so sorry, yo. You guys heard my Diablo. Get out of here. Wow, that was spooky. It's like satanic music playing in the background. My bad. Derek uses 1 day and 30 minutes. Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. I mean, when I'm working and I'm I'm full-time employed, so I like to just leave, the tickers that I'm very, curious about or I'm in. I just leave it in 1 day, 1 minute. Just watch it how it goes. Like I'm not forming any theses. I'm not doing any research or due diligence based off of 1 day, 1 minute. I have my preferred time frames for that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, no, put it back on. I'm gonna go play Diablo after this. I have no meeting tomorrow morning, so. Alright, going back to my Discord. Yo, this mic is high quality. Yeah, this is HyperX Cloud. Wireless charging, wireless headphones. It's very plushy. Very plushy. I could wear this for hours. And I have a small head, small ears, and so it hurts. So yeah. Okay, option newbie here. Have been losing 99% of the time in the past month. Just found out because I was only running risky naked. This is very helpful. Thanks for a live session. Pill. I think he meant Phil. And everyone for the answers. Yeah, you're welcome. Well, you welcome. Yeah. So yeah. I kind of wanted to go into some late night DD session, very quick. And this one, I wanted this to be more like community. In LKS, we do this very, ever so often, sporadically, where we get together, and a lot of the names that we do our DD on, where we look back into stocks that are neglected by the market, like for example, Oracle or like DKS and Activision was actually one of those stocks that we had a DD session on weeks ago, and I was telling everybody, guys, I know that there's a scandal. I know that video games are just not in, but I feel like this is a great time to get in. And I give a lot of reasons for it. I gave video game sales numbers. I gave their financials numbers, and because their price has fallen almost 50% from the high from beginning of this year, effectively their price to earnings ratio also goes down, so it becomes a little bit more valuable. So this is something we do every day, but if not, I don't see anyone pushing for it. So probably going to end the live stream. I don't want this video to be too long, but this was kind of like our first live stream session, so if you guys enjoyed it, great. I don't know what else you're supposed to say because I'm not a YouTuber or some influencer. I think you're supposed to say, please like this video and comment or something, or share this with your friends. I don't know. Whatever, you don't have to do it. DD, please. How about this? Can you guys show me, by typing in the YouTube chat, who here is not a member of LKS? If we get like 5 free members, then I'll do it. And you guys can kind of get like an inside look of how we do things. All right, 0 so far. I'll give it 5 more minutes. I'm going to just go through some questions. Like, comment, subscribe. That's what it was. What? Oh, sorry. Some few questions. Zarashore, gold member. What are the downsides of a limit stop versus the ghetto spread? That's a pretty open-ended question because there's a lot that goes. I kind of shared it before, so I'm not sure if you're just tuning in late, but the 2 options that I went over right here, I can sell it, for what at the time was 452%, right? Or I could, I've been trimming it on the rip, so I was maybe realizing gains when it was up 100%, 200%, 300%. Yeah, you can do that. You could do a limit stop so that you prevent yourself or prevent your position from losing all the gains, all the unrealized gains. That's one way to do it. So in here you can kind of input limit stop or trailing stop or whatever stop. Bus stop, whatever your favorite stop, and kind of like protect your gains that way. But ghetto spread is just another way for you to realize or protect your gains. Yeah. Going back to YouTube. Ah, yeah, you remember, but my sub expired. Gotta renew. Yeah, dude, I would love, look forward to seeing you on whatever it be, Market Chat or Platfloor or whatever VIP. I think I'm just one of many, notable traders here. And the goal for notable traders is to guide, the sheep to pastures of green grass, whatever. But also, to educate. Like I said before, name of the game is to make money. So if you have been trading, since the pandemic started, a year and a half, and you haven't been profitable, or you haven't beat the S&P 22%, year to date, and that could be for a lot of things. Maybe you had gains and you didn't play them or protect your capital as well as you should. Maybe you made a lot of careless mistakes, or you held too long, you sold too quickly, or whatever. This is, I think, 2022. We are going to look forward, and we're going to have a new, fresh mindset. We're going to play a lot more, careful, and maybe you just weren't careful enough. But it all starts with the mindset, mindset up here, and your goals. And your goal should be to make money, right? I mean, why else would you be training for fun? If you're training for fun to lose money, then you can scratch cars. At least you get a finger exercise or something from there. But yeah, I think I guess my selling point to people who are not subscribed is it's just the sheer amount of resources. And I guess I can say this about maybe any other trading discourse, but we get very close and personable. And as long as if you, especially if you're active in market chat where I reside most of the time, the more I see your name, and the more I see you converse, and the more I see you be a part of it, the more I feel like we're connected in some way. And so all the more it helps me to help you better. Yeah, Zangsta, she was here. I don't know if she's still here. She's, she's a very busy woman, and so she's everywhere. So the fact that you even caught her here goes to show that she's very hardworking. And when will the recording be in the archives for those of us that arrived late? The reason why we did YouTube live stream is because it will be saved on this channel. So if you want to subscribe to our YouTube, we're going to be doing this a lot more. So hopefully we get some good content going in here, positive educational content. So as soon as I end this, I'm sure, I don't know, YouTube processes the videos in like 30 minutes, and then this will be available again. So yeah, this is better than Zoom or any other video software. Yeah, it's like 9 o'clock there in LA. Alright, I'm gonna just, sorry about the DD, but I didn't see 5 free members. So I don't know how to end this. Do I just close it or stop streaming?